Have you ever found yourself lying awake at night, your mind racing with worries about the future? What if things don't go as planned? What if you fail? What if everything falls apart? You are not alone. We all fear the unknown. But what if I told you that worrying about the future is stealing your happiness right now? The truth is, the future is always uncertain, but that doesn't mean you have to live in fear. In today's video, we're going to break down why worrying about the future is holding you back, and more importantly, how to truly live in the moment. This lesson comes from C.S. Lewis's Surprised by Joy, and by the end of this video, you'll have a new perspective on life that will set you free. But before we begin, if you're new here, subscribe to Inner Peace Journey and turn on notifications so you never miss powerful insights like this. Let's dive in. 1. The illusion of control. We like to believe that if we plan enough, worry enough, and prepare enough, we can control the future. But can we really? The truth is, no matter how much we strategize, life will always have its own course. We map out our days, set ambitious goals, and meticulously analyze every possible outcome, hoping that our efforts will ensure a smooth path ahead. However, life has a way of surprising us, often in ways we never anticipated. As C.S. Lewis once said, we are never in control of the future, only in control of our response to it. This profound statement reminds us that while we may not have power over external circumstances, we do have power over how we react to them. When we cling to the illusion of control, we often find ourselves paralyzed by overthinking, constantly playing out what-if scenarios in our minds. What if I lose my job? What if my relationship doesn't work out? What if I fail? These questions create an endless cycle of fear, trapping us in an imaginary reality filled with worst-case scenarios. Yet, have you ever noticed that most of the things you once worried about either never happened or turned out differently than you expected? The energy spent agonizing over the future rarely results in the outcomes we desire. Instead, it robs us of the present moment, the only time we actually have any influence over. By focusing on what's happening now, rather than what could happen, we allow ourselves to experience life fully, with all its unexpected joys and lessons. This does not mean we shouldn't set goals or be responsible for our actions. Rather, it means we must balance preparation with presence. Planning for the future is wise, but obsessing over it is a form of self-inflicted suffering. The key is to act with intention, while remaining adaptable to life's inevitable twists and turns. Think about it though. Often have your biggest breakthroughs or happiest moments come from situations you didn't plan for. By letting go of the need to control everything, we create space for possibilities far greater than what we could have imagined. So, instead of obsessing over tomorrow, focus on today, because today is all you truly have. Learn to trust that life has a rhythm beyond your understanding. Embrace uncertainty with faith, knowing that even in the unknown, you are exactly where you are meant to be. 2. The future is always uncertain. No matter how much we plan, life remains unpredictable. This is an undeniable truth that we often try to resist. We create detailed timelines, set rigid expectations, and convince ourselves that if we just follow the right steps, everything will unfold as planned. Yet, despite our best efforts, life continuously reminds us that certainty is an illusion. Think about your past. How many times did things turn out differently than you expected? Perhaps you applied for a job you were sure you'd get, only to be rejected, but later found an even better opportunity. Maybe you experienced the heartbreak of a failed relationship, only to meet someone who was truly right for you. Or maybe you encountered a setback that, at the time, felt devastating, but in hindsight, turned out to be a blessing in disguise. These moments reveal an important truth. Uncertainty is not something to fear, but something to embrace. The more you resist uncertainty, the more anxious you become. When we fight against the unknown, we create unnecessary stress, trying to control outcomes that are beyond our grasp. But when we embrace the reality that life is unpredictable, we shift from fear to curiosity. What if, instead of dreading the unknown, we welcomed it as an adventure? What if uncertainty isn't something to be solved, but something to be lived? Consider nature. Seasons change, rivers flow in unpredictable paths, and storms come and go. Nothing in nature stays the same, yet everything unfolds as it should. In the same way, our lives are meant to evolve in ways we cannot fully predict. The unknown holds endless possibilities, opportunities for growth, unexpected connections, and experiences that shape us in ways we never imagined. Rather than fearing what you cannot control, focus on what you can: your mindset, your choices, and your ability to adapt. Trust that whatever happens, you have the strength to navigate it. You don't need all the answers right now. You just need the courage to take the next step. The future may be uncertain, but that doesn't mean it's something to dread. Instead, see it as an open canvas, waiting for you to paint your story one moment at a time. By surrendering to life's natural flow, we free ourselves from the burden of constant worry. We become more present, more grateful, and more attuned to the beauty of each passing day. So, let go of the need to predict every outcome. Instead, step forward with confidence, knowing that even in uncertainty, life has a way of leading you exactly where you're meant to be. 3. Joy exists in the present moment. Imagine yourself standing in a beautiful garden. The air is crisp, the sun is shining softly, and vibrant flowers are blooming around you. It's a peaceful scene, filled with natural beauty. Yet instead of appreciating the moment, you're staring at your phone, anxiously waiting for an email that hasn't even arrived yet. You're so focused on an uncertain future, something that hasn't even happened, that you miss the very joy of what's happening right in front of you. This is the effect worry has on our lives. It distracts us from the richness of the present moment and keeps us tethered to what might be, rather than to what is. So often, we get caught up in the idea that happiness is somewhere in the future, just out of reach. We tell ourselves, once I achieve this goal, I'll be happy, or when this problem is solved, I'll feel at peace. But the truth is, happiness is not found in what might be or what could go wrong. It's found in this moment, in the simple act of being present with where you are now. When we focus on the future or dwell on the past, we forget to embrace the gift of the present, which is the only moment that truly exists. Think about a time when you were fully immersed in an experience, whether it was enjoying a meal, listening to music, or simply spending time with someone you care about. In those moments, you weren't worried about what would happen later or what had already passed. You were completely here, and that is where joy resides. Happiness is not something that can be obtained by striving for the next big thing or by constantly planning for the future. It's something that is already available to us in every moment, if we simply choose to recognize it. The key to unlocking this joy is mindfulness, the practice of being fully present and aware of what is happening around us. By being conscious of the sights, sounds, and feelings of the current moment, we open ourselves to experience life more deeply. Worrying about the future not only robs us of joy, but it also prevents us from making the most of what we have right now. When we take the time to fully appreciate the present, we notice the beauty that surrounds us, the warmth of the sun, the sounds of nature, and the people who make our lives meaningful. If you want to experience true happiness, start by letting go of the need to control the future. Embrace the beauty of what's in front of you today. Remember, life is not about waiting for the next chapter. It's about fully living the one you're in. Every moment is an opportunity to find joy right here, right now. So, the next time you catch yourself worrying about what's to come, stop and look around. Be present. And in doing so, you'll find that joy was always there, waiting for you to notice. 4. Shift your mindset from fear to trust. When you worry about the future, you're essentially placing your faith in fear instead of trust. It's easy to let anxiety take over as we imagine all the possible things that could go wrong. We become consumed by negative thoughts. What if I fail? What if this doesn't work out? But have you ever stopped to consider the opposite perspective? What if, instead of assuming that everything will go wrong, you believe that everything is unfolding exactly as it should? What if, instead of fearing the future, you trusted that it holds opportunities and blessings beyond what you can even imagine? The energy we put out into the world shapes our reality. If we choose to focus on fear, our actions are often driven by that fear. Whether it's holding back from taking risks, staying in situations that don't serve us, or avoiding change because we're afraid of what might happen. On the other hand, when we choose to trust, we open ourselves to possibilities that would otherwise be closed off. Trusting in the process of life doesn't mean sitting back and waiting for everything to fall into place. It means taking action with the belief that things will work out, even if they don't look the way we expect. Shifting your mindset from fear to trust requires intentional effort. Instead of asking, "What if everything goes wrong?" ask yourself, "What if everything turns out even better than I imagined?" The future is unknown, and that's where the magic lies. It's in the unknown that we find growth, new experiences, and lessons that we would never have learned if we had stayed stuck in our comfort zones. The more you trust the process, the more you start to see how things fall into place in ways you couldn't have planned. When you choose faith over fear, you stop seeing obstacles as roadblocks and start seeing them as opportunities for growth. You begin to believe that even the challenges you face are part of your journey, helping you become stronger and wiser. Trust is about knowing that life has a rhythm, and that rhythm is often beyond our understanding. Just because something doesn't happen the way we want it to, doesn't mean it isn't exactly what we need. Start by practicing small acts of trust in your daily life. Let go of the need to control every detail, and instead embrace the flow of life as it comes. Whether it's trusting that a decision you make will lead you to the right place, or trusting that things will work out, shifting your focus to trust rather than fear can transform your life. Remember, the more you trust in the process, the more you invite peace and joy into your heart. The future may be uncertain, but your trust in the journey is what will carry you through, even when you can't see the destination. So, take a deep breath, let go of the worry, and trust that you are exactly where you need to be. 5. Practical steps to let go of worry. Letting go of worry may seem challenging, especially when you feel overwhelmed by uncertainty about the future. However, taking practical steps can help you shift your mindset and embrace a more peaceful, present way of living. The key is to recognize that worry often stems from a need for control and fear of the unknown. By letting go of these, we can begin to live more freely and trust the process of life. Let's explore some simple yet effective steps to help you release worry and make space for peace and joy in your life. Practice mindfulness. One of the most powerful ways to combat worry is by practicing mindfulness. This technique involves bringing your awareness fully into the present moment, focusing on what's happening right now, rather than what might happen in the future. Begin by focusing on your breath. Notice how the air feels as it enters and leaves your body. Pay attention to the sensations in your body, the sounds around you, and the sights you can see. When your mind starts to drift into thoughts of worry or fear, gently bring it back to the present moment. This practice helps you become grounded in the here and now, reducing the grip that worry holds over you. By training yourself to focus on the present, you break free from the cycle of overthinking and worrying about things that are outside your control. Limit overthinking. Overthinking is one of the main culprits that keeps us stuck in a constant loop of worry. When your mind starts to spiral with what-ifs or imagined worst-case scenarios, it's important to pause and question the usefulness of those thoughts. Ask yourself, is this helping me or is it draining me? If your thoughts are creating stress or fear without offering any productive solution, then they are not serving you. It's essential to recognize that worrying about something that hasn't happened yet only wastes your energy and robs you of the peace you could be experiencing. When you catch yourself spiraling into overthinking, practice releasing the thought. Take a deep breath and gently remind yourself that you don't have to entertain these worries. Instead, shift your focus to something more productive or peaceful. The more you practice this, the easier it becomes to stop overthinking and regain control over your mental space. Gratitude over fear. Another practical step to letting go of worry is practicing gratitude. Fear and worry often arise when we focus on what we lack or what could go wrong. However, by choosing to focus on what we already have, we begin to shift our energy from fear to abundance. Start each morning by listing 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be big things, simple joys like a warm cup of coffee, a supportive friend, or the beauty of nature can make a difference. This simple practice helps you train your brain to focus on the positives in your life, which in turn reduces the space for fear and worry to grow. Gratitude is a powerful tool because it helps us remember that, even in uncertain times, we are supported and blessed in many ways. By making gratitude a daily habit, you not only enhance your sense of peace, but you also begin to shift your perspective on life. Trust the process. Lastly, one of the most effective ways to let go of worry is to trust the process of life. Sometimes we become so fixated on our plans, timelines, and expectations that we forget to stay open to the possibility that life might unfold differently than we anticipated. Then that's okay. In fact, some of the best things in life come unexpectedly. By staying open to what comes, you allow space for new opportunities, experiences, and growth that you may never have imagined. Trusting the process doesn't mean you stop planning or striving toward your goals. It means you accept that the path may not always be linear, and that's part of the beauty of life. When you release the need to control every outcome, you begin to experience life with more ease and joy, knowing that the universe is guiding you exactly where you need to be. Incorporating these steps into your daily life can help you release worry and embrace the present moment. By practicing mindfulness, limiting overthinking, focusing on gratitude, and trusting the process, you begin to create a more peaceful, centered existence. Remember, peace is not found in controlling the future, it's found in embracing the present and trusting that everything is unfolding as it should. Life is too short to be spent worrying about a future that hasn't even happened yet. The truth is, we often waste precious time and energy trying to predict outcomes that are beyond our control. Instead, we should focus on the present moment, as it is the only time we truly have. By living fully in the now, we allow ourselves to experience life with more clarity, peace, and joy. The greatest gift you can give yourself is to embrace the present and trust that life will unfold exactly as it's meant to. When we stop fixating on the future, we open ourselves up to the beauty of today and find the strength to face whatever comes our way. If this message resonated with you, let me know in the comments. What's one thing you're going to let go of today? Whether it's a worry, a fear, or an unnecessary expectation, letting go is the first step toward inner peace. And if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button and join us on this journey of self-discovery and inner peace. We would love for you to be part of this community. Thanks for watching, and remember, true peace is found in the present moment, not in what's to come. See you in the next video.